Sam, it's good to have you. Your exchange is the one that Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen now have an equity stake in. What is going on there?
Yeah, it's been super fun working with them and talking with them. I think they've been interested in crypto for a while, and they're obviously extremely impressive people. Also really excited to work with them on the charity side.
Yes, I mean, Tom Brady kind of, I think, was emblematic of how a lot of crypto investors feel this week when he tweeted, "The laser eyes didn't work. Anyone have any ideas?" Were you engaged in these talks, over the last few months? Was this more, I guess what I'm saying is, if he feels a little, burned by the moves in crypto, why are they doubling down on a crypto exchange?
I mean, in the end, you'd have to ask them. But, we've been chatting with them for a while. And, I'd hope that he's, has confidence that we'll execute well.
All right. And as we know, the business of being a crypto exchange can be very different from simply holding crypto itself, especially depending on where you bought in. So tell us about the business side, Sam. How much volume are you guys doing? What kinds of crypto are you and aren't you exchanging? And what kind of regulatory measures do you think are headed your way?
Yeah, totally. So, the core business model for us is we are a full stack exchange. And so it's not the equivalent of sort of a traditional financial exchange, which is mostly the matching engine. FTX is everything from the matching engine, the custody, the settlement, the risk engine, the mobile app, the website, the API, the customer facing brand, the compliance solution, and everything packaged into one except for the buyer and the seller. We have about $10 to $15 billion per day of volume that trades on FTX. And it's split between a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, although Bitcoin and Ethereum are certainly the two most traded.
Sam, it's Eamon Javers here. If I could jump in with a question on that.
Yeah.
So far this hour, we've heard from a former director of the CIA, we've heard from a cybersecurity expert, and we've heard from a United States senator, all talking about the idea of crypto in one way or another being involved in this ransomware and cybersecurity issue that's plaguing corporate America right now.
Yep.
And I guess my question for you is, how do you approach anti-money laundering, and how can you do it at a level, or can you do it at a level that the big banks and the big exchanges can do it?
Totally. So, we've been doing, we've had an AML KYC program since day one. We conduct thorough checks on all of our customers, both in terms of who they are and identifying information about them, but also in terms of the blockchain. We contract with services like Chainalysis to, monitor for known suspicious addresses. And in fact, you saw with one of these recent ransomware attacks that there's actually some crypto recovered from it in the end from sort of the bad actor. And one of the powerful things about crypto is there is a public ledger that you can track down. I think it is a much more complicated story when you talk about things like privacy coins, some of which are very, very hard for law enforcement to track down. But most major cryptocurrencies actually give law enforcement lots of different tools to attack this with, as long as the major players in the space are being good actors and are doing their duty in terms of AML.
So that brings up the key question, right? Which is, what are you doing with these red flags once you find them? Who do you talk to? Do you talk to the federal government? You talk to law enforcement, SEC? I mean, where do you go once you find something that looks to you like, this doesn't feel quite right?
Yeah, I mean, there's all that, but this is also an international kind of global phenomenon. We have users from, over 100 jurisdictions on the platform, and we're regularly in contact with agencies all around the world. And we will reach out, or they'll reach out, talking about a specific case, but hey, here is some transfer we saw. We think it might be related to someone who's involved in one of our cases. Usually it isn't actually the sort of, the bad act itself. It's rather just related to a person involved in it. And we'll talk about tracking that down and help to the extent that we can. But we're talking about hundreds of agencies because this really is global.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.